The more that you read, the more the things you will know. The more that you learn, the more the places you will go.
Reading is the gateway skill that makes all other learning possible. A very warm and pleasant morning to everyone assembled here. I, Arshdeep Kaur, student of MA English first year,
And I, Throught, student of MA English first year,
welcome you all in the one-day workshop on capacity enhancement through reading skills. I feel honored to welcome Dr. G.S.S.D.G.S, Head of the PG Department of English and Foreign Languages, Dean Placements, Dean Languages, Controller Examination and Registrar. I welcome Dr. Ruben Barar, Convener of English Reading Society, and all faculty members who have gathered here today. Your presence makes this program truly special and adds a depth of insight.
The English Literary Society of the department provides various platforms to the students to showcase their talents. The English Literary Society undertakes the execution of various programs in order to take the text out of the confines of the classroom, such as Shakespeare Mela, Razzmatazz, Online Literature Fest, celebrating World Literature, Miraki Literature Fest, and the 7-day 17th Annual English Literature Fest.
Now, I would like to invite Dr. Ruben Barar to introduce the theme of the workshop.
A very warm good morning to each one of you. I welcome all of you to this one-day workshop on capacity enhancement through reading skills. The ability to read effectively is not just a fundamental skill, but a powerful tool for personal, professional growth in today's fast-paced world where information is abundant and constantly evolving. Enhancing one's reading skills has become essential for navigating academic, professional, and everyday challenges. You must have come across the scenario where your several teachers give you several passages or pages to read and come back with any difficulty if you have. So, if you have 5 papers or say 8 papers, you are reading even if only just 5 pages per paper, then you are reading how many papers? If you have 5, 25 pages, right? Just to read, go through, find out if you have any difficulty and take that difficulty to your teacher. Similarly, as you evolve, as you grow, you will have the difficulty of reading abundant form of papers, right, and come to the crux of it. Now, how to solve this problem? How to navigate? How to have that information retention in your mind, right? These are the tricks, the techniques, the tips that this workshop is going to generate amongst you, dear students. And with this in mind, the English Literary Society of PG Department of English and Foreign Languages of G.S.S.D.G.S, Khalsa College, Patiala has organized this one-day workshop on capacity enhancement through reading skills. The workshop aims to empower all of you with techniques and strategies to improve your reading proficiency and comprehension. This workshop focuses on developing reading as a multi-dimensional skill that goes beyond understanding words on a page. It emphasizes critical thinking, vocabulary expansion, active engagement, and contextual understanding, all of which are very important to processing and applying your information effectively. By addressing common challenges such as limited focus, this generation has a very big problem of having very limited focus. Why? Because we are so used to of those reels, right? Those few seconds. So when we were students, our attention span was around 8 minutes. It has come down to just mere seconds now till the time that it has come to your generation. So this limited focus is a big barricade in your effective reading skills bit. Then you have a slow reading pace. You keep on reading very slowly. You try to go ahead reading the words, but anything is not going in your head. And you have the difficulty to retain information. But this workshop will equip all of you with tools to overcome these obstacles. The participants will explore how enhanced reading skills can improve decision making, problem solving, and creativity, thereby fostering overall capacity building. This workshop is not just about becoming a better reader, it's about unlocking the potential that lies within each one of you. By strengthening your reading skills, dear students, you will be equipped to embrace lifelong learning, adapt to newer opportunities, and contribute meaningfully to your personal and professional growth. So, join us as we delve into the transformative power of reading and take a major leap toward capacity enhancement. Thank you.
Now, I would like to invite Dr. G.S.S.D.G.S to address the students.
Thank you so much. Dear students, at the very onset, I want to congratulate the English Literary Society for organizing this workshop on reading skills. As you know, reading is a great activity, isn't it? You are free, read a book. You will never be alone. You do not need a friend, isn't it? You are feeling bored? Read a book. It's so easy to carry a book, to take it anywhere, to keep it in your purse, in your bag, in your pocket, and the marvels of the world get open to you. You can travel across time, isn't it? Such a great activity. But how to make this reading activity a skill? Intelligently, with intelligent effort, we can convert this hobby into a skill. I'm going to tell you how. In your school, you used to be given précis writing, comprehension passage, note making, summarizing. Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you supposed to do? You were supposed to read a long paragraph, reread it so that you understand what is, written in it. Everything is not important. In that paragraph, everything is not important. You read the paragraph, you retain some of the stuff in your mind, and then you answer the questions given at the end of the paragraph. It means you used to read it carefully, with your full mind, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Same about the précis writing. You had to condense, to precise a long paragraph. Not just shortening it, but highlighting the important things and discarding the not so important facts. Same way, there are a few important words: skimming, scanning, and reading between the lines. Skimming is जिਵੇਂ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਮਲਾਈ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਮਲਾਈ ਨਿਕਾਲ ਦੇਣਾ. That is called skimming. That is an art, So out of a long paragraph, out of a long page, you have to skim the most important information. Now that is a skill. And then is scan. Suppose I tell you that from the paragraph, you have to find a specific answer. It means you will use a lens, means your eyes, to scan for the specific information. And reading between the lines is beyond the words. The things that have not been written but are still there. Only an intelligent mind, an intelligent reader will read between the lines. So skimming, scanning, and reading between the lines. Some students, when they receive the question paper, they feel panicky. Ma'am, important questions ਤਾਂ ਆਏ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਲਾਸ 'ਚ ਕਹੇ ਸੀ important questions ਆਣਗੇ. You know, it happens. Students come to me कि वो questions नहीं आए. Now the thing is, reading skill. Please read the question twice, thrice, 4 times. And after you understand the question, you will realize, I know the answer. Answer would be the same, beta. Alright? So from now on, never panic when you get a question that you feel it is disturbing, that it was not done in the class. No, it was done in the class. You just have to reread twice, thrice to get to the answer. The answer is there with you only. Alright, beta? So, reading is a two-fold process. Like communication is a two-way process, reading is a two-fold process. You read to get knowledge, and then you write about it, you reproduce it. So it is not a passive activity, but an active one. Engage your mind with the piece of paper, with the passage, with the stanza that you have been given, and reproduce it. Today, I will show you a small animated movie, and it is without dialogues. It is without dialogues. No dialogues are there. You have to read meaning from this animated short story, and then please tell what is there that the story wants to tell you.
हिंदी में
हाँ जी हिंदी में बताइए.
मैम वो पहले तो उसको सोच जब वो कुकीज मैम जब वो खा रही है पहले वो सोचने लग रही है कि ये क्या कहते हैं कितना ऐसा आदमी है कि वे बिना पूछे उठा के खाई जा रहे हैं. लेकिन जब वो क्या कहते हैं जब उससे वो आखिरी पीस लेते हैं वो भी उसको आधा फिर भी दे देता है. वो तो ये अपने तरफ से ये सोच रही है कि वो उसके पीस उठा के खा रहा है. लेकिन जब मैम वो अंदर ट्रेन में जाती है उसको पता लगता है कि वो तो उसका पैकेट खुला पड़ा था, उसमें तो बाहर निकालने ही नहीं थे.
वो पैकेट तो उसी के पास था शुरू से. हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक जी. प्लीज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर द बॉय. एनीवन एल्स हु अंडरस्टूड द मीनिंग फ्रॉम द एनिमेटेड शॉर्ट मूवी? एनीवन एल्स? एनी लैंग्वेज वुड डू. इंग्लिश, हिंदी, पंजाबी, उर्दू. हाँ जी, कोई और? कैसी लगी मूवी? हाँ दसो बेटा.
मैम ऐसे हमें एक और सीख मिलती
हाँ,
है
और
कि
क्या सीख?
हमें किसी के बारे में भी अपना पर्सपेक्टिव इतनी जल्दी नहीं बना लेना चाहिए.
कि कैसे जज किया ना उसने कि ये एक यंग बॉय है, अपना म्यूजिक सुन रहा है विदाउट केयरिंग अबाउट द वर्ल्ड, और मेरे कुकीज खा रहा है ना, मेरे कुकीज खा रहा है, और उसको खूब बोलती है, वो गुस्सा करती है. शुरू से भी गुस्सा दिखाया उसका. जब उसका वो जो कुकी पैकेट है नीचे नहीं गिरता, डिस्पाइट कि उसने उसमें कॉइन डाल दिया था, तो वो खूब गुस्सा करती है. फिर उस लड़के को भी गुस्सा करती है, बट देन शी रियलाइजेस बट देन इट वाज टू लेट, द ट्रेन हैड ऑलरेडी चक्ड ऑफ.
हम तभी कहते हैं गुस्सा नहीं करना चाहिए. क्रोध मनुष्य की सोचने समझने की शक्ति को छीन.
अरे वाह, बिल्कुल ठीक. क्रोध तो बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए. इंसान सोच नहीं सकता.
क्योंकि गुस्से में इंसान का दिमाग काम नहीं करता, सोचने समझने की शक्ति खत्म हो जाती है.
बिल्कुल ठीक है जी. So yes, this boy, what is your name?
मैम दिवांश.
Divansh understood the meaning of the poem. Which class?
मैम BSc ऑनर्स मैथ्स फर्स्ट ईयर.
Great, बहुत अच्छे. Wonderful answer. Anyone else?
ज़्यादा गुस्सा नहीं करना चाहिए हैगा. मतलब मैम जजमेंट पहला नहीं पास करनी चाहिए, मतलब पहला ऑब्जर्व करना चाहिए. बट मैम वो पहला तो इरिटेटेड सी सो ताकत के ओदे गुस्से ने ओदी अगली जजमेंट भी खराब करती.
फिर बात तो मुश्किल हो गया.
हाँ जी मैम भी ओदा वो डिसीजन है उन्होंने उस बार रिग्रेट भी होया कि हाय मैं ऐसा किया, बट वो उस तो बार कुछ कर नहीं सकती.
Yes, but it was too late.
Yes.
And did you like the boy? Was the boy right? Boy ठीक है? Is he eating his own cookies?
मैम मेरे अकॉर्डिंग ठीक है, बिकॉज समटाइम्स भी ਉਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ, ਬਟ ਉਹ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਟਰਫੇਰੈਂਸ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਬਟ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ, ਉਹ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਾਮ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮਤਲਬ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਸ ਸ਼ੋ.
And how does the story end? When the train moves out of the railway station and then the boy?
मैम वो भी बिल्कुल नॉर्मल सीगा, without me.
What does he do? The action that he does.
मैं उन्हें मतलब रैपर डस्टबिन च थ्रो किया विदाउट एनी मतलब उन्हें कोई गुस्सा नहीं आया भी उस चीज ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੇ ਨਾਰਮਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, please, please. Yes, yes.
What I feel that the woman, the old woman, she could not read the situation, right? She mistook that box of cookie as to be hers, right? And because she was so angry, right? Previously also she was so angry trying to take out that. So yes, anger clouds your judgment. One should not be judgmental. You should not look at the scenario thinking that okay, I am right and the other is always wrong. The boy was so cool, so relaxed, and the boy was able to read the situation. When he finally shares that last piece of cookie, right? What is he doing? He thinks that the poor old woman
Yes.
she wants to have a cookie.
He lets her have
okay.
the half,
He
yes.
lets her have. He knows that the box of cookie is his own, and he shares willingly, knowingly. So he reads the situation and shares it willingly. Whereas the anger of that old woman does not allow her to read the situation, to know what is what. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for actively watching it and reading between the lines. Right? And thank you so much. When I was young, of your age, ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ G.S.D.G.S ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤਸਰ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਸੈਡ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਟੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਆਏਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੁੜ ਜਾਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ BA ਦੀ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ MA ਦੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਲੱਭਦੀ ਰਹੀ ਕਿ ਟੀ ਚਾਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਖੜਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਚਾਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਖੜਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਟੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ I kept on looking here and there ਕਿ ਉਹ ਚਾਹ ਵਾਲਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ where is that man who makes tasty tea मैं लगती रही और वापस घर आ गई शायद BA बनती हो गल है तो वापस आ गई मैं मॉम ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਟੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਲ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੀ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ नो ਪੜਨ ਦੀ ਕਮੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਾਂ ਲਿਟਰੇਚਰ ਅਗਰ ਪੜਿਆ ਹੋਏ ਕੁਝ ਐਸਾ ਪੜਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਟੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਟੀ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਉਹ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਰਸਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਟੀ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਲੈਫਟ ਮੁੜ ਜਾਓ ਜਾਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਅੱਗੇ ਰਸਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਔਰ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਹੋਰ ਹੋਇਆ कहते कि जो वो लड़की है ना उसकी काली जुबान है तो मैं उस लड़की को लभदी रही कि जिस ते काली जुबान होएगी है ना उसकी टंग ब्लैक कलर दी होएगी बट व्हेन आई मेट her tongue was as pink as my tongue is तो फिर हौली पढ़ के idioms proverbs one word substitutes पता लग गया कि ये सारियां चीज़ां precise करन दे लई condense करन दे लई हुंदियां as you will be taught here in this workshop कि किस तरह reading एक reading skill बनती है it is a skill which you have to master which you have to develop with intelligent effort intelligently thank you so much
Now I would like to invite Dr. Ruben Barar and Dr. Amanpreet Kaur for the PowerPoint presentation.
A very good morning to our esteemed teachers and dear students. I extend a very warm welcome to each of you to our reading skills workshop. Today we embark on an exciting journey to explore the world of reading skills, discovering innovative ways to read with purpose, precision and efficiency. Through interactive and engaging sessions, we will delve into the art of reading, equipping you with practical tools and techniques to become more confident, efficient and effective readers. So we all know that reading is very important, you can say its task, because it develops our mind. When you read, you try to understand the written word. And understanding the written word is one way the mind grows in its ability. Through reading, you expose yourself to the new things, to new knowledge, new ways to solve a problem, and new ways to achieve one thing. So let's start with the first slide. So reading is defined as a process that helps to decode, decipher, and identify the words. Reading is a complex process through which we try to construct the meaning out of the written words or out of a written text. So reading is a skill that enables us to get a message. Through reading, we get a message, we get information, We try to recognize the written words on a paper, on a journal, or any from surface. Then understanding the meaning, it is a skill to understand the meaning. Then it is used to teach pronunciation. First we read and then we try to pronounce a particular word or a sentence. Then it is used to grasp information from texts. So this is all about what is the exact meaning of the reading. Then comes, why do we read? What is the purpose behind reading? So reading has two purposes or objectives. First, read for information. We always read to get knowledge, to get information. And second is, we read to get pleasure, to amusement. Then reading, the complex process of reading, it comprises of 5 components. The first component is phonemic awareness. It is actually, specifically, its ability to hear, identify and manipulate the individual sounds of English. Second component is phonics. Phonics is a branch of linguistics and it is a method to read and pronounce words by learning the sounds of individual letters. Then fluency, third component is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read words, phrases, sentences accurately with exact speed and expression. Then vocabulary. Vocabulary is a bundle of words in a language, and if you want to become master, you should have a good bundle of words with you. Next is comprehension. Comprehension means understanding. So comprehension or understanding, it completes the entire process of reading. When you read something, you try to exclude the meaning out of it. It means you have got the idea or the theme of the, you can say, the material. Then comes types of reading skills. So reading, there are 4 types of reading techniques or strategies. First is skimming, second is scanning, third is intensive reading, and the 4th one is extensive reading. So first is skimming. Skimming is a reading technique through which you try to quickly identify the specific piece of information from a text. And when you skim, you read through a text quickly, you move your eyes quickly through the text and looking for the main ideas without going into the depth or the details. Then it helps you to identify key information and make it easier to remember. Next is when to use skimming. At what places we have to use this technique. First is material, before detailed reading to get an overview. So if you want to get an overview or the main idea, you use this technique. Second is research, quickly deciding if a message is worth further attention. For the research works, for example, the research scholars, what they do, they just overview the primary sources or the secondary sources just to get the idea that which sources are adequate for them. Then time constraints, when you read together information quickly. When you have shortage of time, then you use this technique for reading. Second is, next is how to skim effectively. So focus on headings and subheadings. So without going into much detail, you have to focus on reading headings and subheadings of the text. Then read the first and last sentence of the paragraph because that contains a topic or the theme of the entire paragraph. Then look for keywords or phrases, identify words that stand out or which are repeatedly existing in that particular paragraph. Then scan bullets, lists and graphics. So by scanning the bullets and the graphics or any sort of lists, you get the idea of the whole content. Then comes skip details, avoid dense and detailed explanations. Importance of skimming. So what is the purpose behind the skimming? Skimming is especially useful when you have to identify the main points in a long or dense text. Second is it can help you save time. It's a time saving strategy. If you don't have much time, then you can scan the things, skim the things. It's useful. It's also a very helpful way to check your understanding of a text. After you have created a section, you can skim it again and again. Then overall skimming, it is a useful tool for reading quickly and efficiently. Second technique is scanning. Scanning is a useful reading strategy to use when you want to find a specific piece of information. You want to locate a particular name, a date, or a fact. Then you use this technique of scanning. How to scan effectively? First, you have to identify the target, know what you want to looking for. You want to locate a name, a fact, or a definition. Second, use verbal cues. Focus on bold text, italics, heading. You have to focus on all these things. Then move your eyes quickly. Let your eyes move vertically or horizontally. You have to rotate your eyes in all directions to get the idea. Then ignore unrelated content. You have to ignore all the unrelated or irrelevant information which is contained in a particular content or a paragraph. So when to use scanning? At what places you have to use this technique? First is searching for a phone number. If you want to locate a phone number in a telephone directory, you can use this technique. Finding a specific fact in an article, then locating a term in a glossary or an index. You want to locate a particular word in a glossary, you can use this scan or this technique of reading. Then third technique is intensive reading. Intensive reading is a reading technique that involves reading a text in detail to gain a deeper understanding of it. It occurs when the learner is focused on the language rather than the text. So intensive means inside reading, when you have to focus on the language of the text rather than the content or the theme. Second, it requires careful attention towards learning new vocabulary, studying the grammar and expressions in the text, translating the passage and other tasks that involve the student in looking intensively inside. So going through the language in depth, you learn new vocabulary, grammatical expressions, translating procedures. So you learn these things by intensive reading. Then how to practice intensive reading? First, choose a purposeful text. If you want to do in detail or in-depth reading of a text, first of all you have to choose a purposeful text according to your interest. Second is analyze vocabulary and grammar. You go through in detail, you have to underline all the new words, pick up new vocabulary and grammatical expressions, then ask questions, explore the author's intent, arguments or themes, then try to understand the attitude or the intent of the author, why he has written this particular text. Then take notes, highlight key points, phrases or summarize in your own words. What you have bought from the a particular text, you just try to making notes of it and then reread for clarity. So you have to cover the difficult and multiple times to ensure the understanding. Then you can go through, if you are not getting the idea of the text, you just read it once, then twice, then thrice, and then start making notes. And this is all about how to practice the intensive reading. Then why do intensive reading? Intensive reading, it helps to understand the meaning of a text properly in detail. Second, it's a powerful tool that helps to improve the reading skills, and it involves reading a text multiple times with the goal of increasing vocabulary, fluency and comprehension. It improves the power of expression because when you go through the text, you learn new meanings, new expressions, and you try to use those expressions, those new words in your own communication. So the power of expression increases like this. So develops the skill of questioning and answering. Then it helps in remembering dates, facts and historical events in chronological order. Then when to use intensive learning? Learning if you want to learn a new language, if you want to prepare for your exams, if you want to do research work, because all the research scholars, they do this intensive reading. Then studying literary works or technical material. And the last technique is extensive reading. Extensive reading is done for the sake of pleasure or for enjoyment. Extensive reading is also known by the other names, for example, including free vocabulary reading, FVR, uninterrupted silence reading, sustained silent reading, drop everything and read, and next is positive outcomes while enjoying reading. So these are the different names through which the extensive reading is known. Then why do extensive reading? Extensive reading, it helps vocabulary, it helps learners to understand grammar, it helps learners to build reading speed and reading fluency. Students choose what they want to read because it's not a restricted procedure. The students, they pick up any sort of text according to their interest and they start reading. Then students become better reader because there is no any restriction, because all the students, it's a burden on them that they have to finish their syllabus and all. That's why they have to go through all the books. So the better reader they become, an integral part of this is that it also helps in increasing the vocabulary and pronunciation. Then students improve writing. Students encourage more language more frequently through extensive reading, so their language mechanism is improves. Then students become more motivated. Then students develop learning autonomy. Students become more empathic because they try to identify others, they try to feel the feelings of others, and emotions reading helps to develop empathy, and readers learn to identify with characters and understand to learn their own emotions and empathize with others. So empathy develops with reading. Then comparison between intensive and extensive reading. So first, intensive reading, it concentrates upon the language aspect, and extensive reading, it concentrates upon the subject matter. Second is, the aim is to make a careful and minute study of what is read. Extensive reading, the aim is only to grasp the meaning of what is read. Intensive reading, in this words, phrases and expressions are studied in detail, and in extensive, words, phrases and expressions are not studied in detail. New words and phrases occurring in the book pass into the students' active vocabulary. Active vocabulary means they use those words in their day-to-day communication. And in extensive reading, new words and phrases occurring in the book pass into the students' passive vocabulary. Intensive reading encourages the students to gather information from the text, and extensive reading, it provides the pleasure and amusement. Then intensive reading, students are trained in this method only from the view of point of examinations, that they have to cover their entire syllabus. And extensive reading, it develops the habit of self-study in the students. Then comes SQ3R method. It's a reading method to increase retention and understanding. Moving from smaller details to larger ideas, it can be beneficial to those who rely on written information and want to better understand. So now this active reading strategy. In this, S stands for survey. Survey means skim the text and find the main ideas. Means what can I learn from the text. Second, Q stands for question. Question means think about what you already know about the topic. You relate your past experiences or past learning with the present. Means what do I hope to learn from the text. Then 3R, the first R stands for read. Read means look for answers to your questions. Second R stands for recite. It means consider what you want to remember from information. And third R stands for recall. It means reread your notes and link the information with your own experience. So first S means survey. Survey means scan the text to get a general grasp of what it is about. Look for chapters, title, graphics, italics, everything that is highlighted. You can read summaries or reviews of the book as well. In question, from some question about the text and what about you might be interested in learning. So what is the purpose? Why do you want to, what sort of things you want to learn from a text, and what do you think this text talks about? What is the theme of this text, and why are you so curious to understand this text? And you can turn chapters or section titles into questions as well. Then the 3R, first read, try to read actively and make notes about important details or questions that come up while reading the text. Second, recite means rewrite in your own words. What idea or what theme you get from the text, you have to rewrite, reframe your own sentences, and you have read, how would you summarize it? How you explain it to your friend? Then third R means review. Reread the most important sections, paying extra attention to passages you may not have understood on the first read, so you have to read it twice or thrice. Revisit the questions you wrote down and can you answer them. So this strategy is very helpful for enhancing or improving the reading skills. So now the rest of the slides will be described by Dr. Rubal.
Thank you so much, Aman ma'am. Aman ma'am has very impressively provided to you the various techniques of reading skills, of developing reading skills. But a common problem that we as students of literature, we face while developing this very crucial skill is that you are not able to understand what you are reading. If you are not able to understand, then you will not be able to retain the information in your mind better. On the one hand, reading skill helps you in your growth and development, but if you are unable to develop this skill, then you will not be able to understand what you are reading, and if there is no understanding, there can be no retention. So I am going to focus upon the strategies to meet the common challenges, the hindrances, the problems, right, which you face when you are trying to develop this skill, the reading skill. So please pay attention. The first slide is expand vocabulary. So the first problem that you face is that you do not understand the words that are written in the book, in the text that the teacher has prescribed you. In the very beginning I told you that you have 5 teachers teaching 5 different papers to you, courseworks to you, and each one of them have given you a homework, read 5 pages and come back with your problems. Now when you start reading those 5 pages and the first sentence you are reading, the first paragraph you are reading, the words are so difficult, you are not able to make any sense out of it, right? Why that happens? Because you have not increased your vocabulary. So first and foremost, what you have to do is you need to expand your vocabulary better. A limited vocabulary will always pose a very huge barrier to your understanding of complex texts. Where it is simple, easy, popular literature, novels, right? Something which you are reading for leisure. Probably because the language is very easy, you will be able to understand. But academic books, right? Academic journals, they are complex texts. It will not be easy for you to understand them if you do not have a good vocabulary bit. And how can you improve your vocabulary? By regular reading, particularly of diverse genres, okay? Because they introduce you to new words and new phrases. When we were young, we were tutored to read newspapers. When you read a newspaper, English newspaper, what do? You are coming across the genre of politics, so society, culture, sports, economics, right? So many sections, so many spheres of life are touched upon by that one newspaper, right? I am not saying that, okay, you have to agree with what the newspaper is projecting. Sometimes, yes, they are opinionated, but in order to develop your reading skill, newspaper reading is a very simple and very effective strategy. You will be able to come across and face the challenge of vocabulary building exercise. Then, using a dictionary or a thesaurus to look up the unfamiliar words, the words that you do not know, is a very good practice. Maintaining a personal vocabulary journal and using these new words in your daily conversation really helps you in understanding the meaning and usage to enhance your comprehension. there is one exercise that I introduce all my students to, that is that bete, if you start from Monday, consider Monday as the first day of the week, right, and till Friday, which is the 5th day, right, 5 days you just devote hardly 10 minutes to your reading skills. What do? You pick up 2 new words, write in your journal, vocabulary journal. My students are nodding their heads because the very first class that I take, I introduce them to this exercise. You maintain a vocabulary journal in which you write Monday, day 1. 2 new words, you write the meaning. You write the meaning in Punjabi also or Hindi, whichever is a comfortable language, and you make a sentence and you write it over there. From Monday till Friday, you are writing 2 new words. So you are writing 10 new words by the end of Friday bete. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Saturday, Sunday, you revise those 10 words. You try to use them in your daily conversation. So in 1 week, your 10 words will be your new best friends. Yes? They will always help you whenever you want to express something. Or for that matter, read and understand something. So in 1 week, if you are learning 10 new words, by the end of 1 month, you will be learning 40 new words. By the end of 1 year, multiply by 12, how many?
480.
Very good. So around 500 new words and just 10 minutes of regular exercise, right? That can bring, such kind of competency in you that you will be able to understand whatever you are reading. You will be able to expand your vocabulary bit. So I urge each one of you, please start writing your vocabulary journal. Start investing on you bete. Your time is precious. Say no to that social media. Say no to that reel making thing that you keep on watching. They are distractions. They are pulling you away from everything that is good. You want to invest time on yourself, polish yourself, right? Please consider this and start doing this, maintaining your vocabulary journal. Moving on to the next slide. The challenge is that most of us are doing passive reading. So you need to practice active reading bit. Passive reading often leads to disengagement. Why it happens that you start reading with full gusto. Okay, I am sitting down to read, mama. Okay, I have opened up my book and I am reading. And by the end of the first page, you are dozing off. Why?
मैम क्योंकि दिमाग साथ में लगा ही नहीं है.
Yes. You are not reading it actively. You are very passive. So whatever you are reading, you are not able to engage yourself with that. Right? There is a lot of disengagement, and that is why you will not be able to retain anything in your mind with it. Poor retention. इथे दिमाग में कुछ नहीं जाओगा. If you are disengaged to your text, engage yourself with what you are reading. Active reading strategies such as highlighting key points. I personally have the habit of underlining things. The notes that I share with my students, they know they are mostly underlined, right? Why? Because I like to have active reading, right? I engage with the text. So when you are underlining, what are you doing? You are highlighting those key words, right? So this is very important. And then annotating the margins with notes, those small meanings, references that you write on the margins of the pages, they really help you in understanding what you are reading. And once if you understand, then you will be able to retain everything in your mind. Okay. Then summarizing the sections of the text. You have read one paragraph, you have highlighted the main keywords, you have written down the meaning of the difficult words you were not able to understand, and then make a line and you summarize the entire paragraph in 1 point and 2 points. Right? So that is active reading bit. Okay, this will help to improve your focus and the understanding of the text. These methods encourage engagement with the material, ensuring that you process information more effectively. Moving to the next slide. The third crucial challenge that we face, bete, that is lack of background knowledge. So what you can do, you have to build your background knowledge. Background knowledge that today if I start talking about literature or politics or economics, right? You do not know that what scenario is going on in your current contemporary politics, right? Or for that matter, economics, or what sociological problems we are facing, right? Or what literary texts I am talking about, okay? So you need to have background knowledge. So understanding a text requires familiarity with the subject matter. You need to know, right, what you are reading. So how can you meet this challenge? By reading widely on various topics, including history, science, literature, current events, right? This kind of reading will provide you context which is very necessary to make sense of new information. Remember, till 10th, you never had specialization. It was mandatory, compulsory to read all subjects, so that you had some information in all the areas, walks of life, right, which affect us, okay? But you chose either commerce or humanities or science, and then what happened? You were like, okay, I'm a student of commerce, I have nothing to do with science now. I'm a student of humanities, no commerce, no science. This is a wrong mindset. You need to know the basics of each arena of life, right? This will help you in your lifelong growth, okay? Now, building the background knowledge helps you in comprehension and also fosters critical connections between ideas. Moving to the next slide. The next major challenge is focus building. Most of you must have faced this, that okay, I want to read. Yes, I'm trying to read. But the moment I open my book, I'm not able to focus, right? So how can you improve focus? Reading comprehension suffers if you are reading in a distracting environment. See, if you are reading where there is the TV going on, or your brother or sister are watching something, listening to something, talking something, you sharing gossips, right, talking about fashion, clothes, something, and your mind is again and again going to what they are doing, okay? So you need to have a quiet environment which will help you to read, right? Distracting environments will always make focusing very important, very difficult for you to focus upon. So to enhance focus, it is very important to create a quiet and comfortable space for reading, which is free from interruptions like phones or loud noises. Now, you need to have specific reading goals, that okay, before sleeping I am going to read 5 pages of the book every day, or 10 pages of the book every day. So you need to set those specific reading goals, right? Such as completing a major chapter or understanding a particular concept. This can help maintain concentration. So once you have finished that goal of reading 5 pages, right, you will be comfortable that okay, I have achieved my goal, and those 5 pages will be read with full concentration. Moving to the next slide. Now, how to develop critical thinking, right? This is also very crucial in your developing the reading skills, the development of critical thinking. Comprehending, that is understanding a text, goes beyond simply understanding the surface level meaning of the text. It requires analyzing and evaluating its deeper implications. Asking questions such as, what is the purpose of the author, that the author has chosen to write this particular text? Or for that matter, what evidences are there that support this argument? Such kind of questions can help the readers engage critically with the material that they are reading. Then, comparing the text with other sources or personal experiences, as Aman ma'am already has shared with you, further strengthens your analytical skills. The next pointer that can help you in overcoming the challenges to developing your reading skill is usage of reading aids, visual tools. See, here also you have the visual tool with you. So visual tools like graphic organizers, mind maps, charts can help readers break down complex information. For example, a mind map can outline the main ideas and support the details, making content easier to understand and remember. Like most of the time, you have the idea of a flowchart. You write a keyword, you make the drop down arrows, right? You write another keywords and branching out arrows, right? And you have the dividing arrows, and like that your mind map is able to understand the complex material that has been provided to you. Similarly, taking notes in bullet points or summarizing paragraphs into key points provides clarity and structure. So my dear students, by implementing these strategies, you can overcome common challenges in reading comprehension, making your reading experience more effective and enjoyable. These techniques not only improve your understanding but also will help to foster a lifelong habit of meaningful and engaged reading. So happy reading to you. This was our presentation. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Professor Dharminder Kaur and Professor Eliza for conducting the activity.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, a warm good afternoon to all of you. I hope every one of you is enjoying the workshop. Let's make the workshop more interesting and learning. Now we will begin with the activity which is based on reading skills followed by idioms. First of all, I would like to tell you about idiom. What is an idiom? Idioms are common phrases that have a figurative meaning which is different from their literal meaning. In general, we can say that an idiom is an expression that cannot be understood from the meanings of its separate words but must be learned as a whole. Idioms can be used in both spoken and written language, and they all create expressiveness, and they also give humor and color to the art of communication. Example, it's a piece of cake, which means in easy words we can say something which can be easily achieved. Now Professor Eliza will tell you about the activity, how we will going to do the activity.
Very good afternoon everyone. I'm going to tell you about the activity. This is the time to perform an activity which is definitely be related with idioms. Right? In this activity, first half of the idiom is with one student and another part of the idiom would be with the another student. And we will attach slips on your bags, and so the students have to search out the complete one idiom.
That's
right?
Wonderful.
And then come to us.
Great
Yes.
activity.
Then once you become successful in searching out the idiom, then the person will have to tell the meaning as well. So let's begin with the activity, and I hope you all will be enjoying them.
And I thank everyone for their participation in the activity. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Amanpreet Kaur for the vote of thanks.
To our esteemed teachers and students, thank you for your presence and valuable contributions, especially to our participants for this activity. Thank you for your active engagement, enthusiasm and willingness to learn. We hope that strategies and techniques sharing during this workshop will enhance your reading skills and benefit you in your academic and professional pursuits. Thank you so much.